This is Amanda Lucas again. Welcome to part 2 of the Collective Impact Model overview. I will be outlining its application to the Food Policy Council more specifically. Part of the research process the staff of the Food Policy Council completed is through the 2022 strategic planning process. The strategic planning process was completed through the collection of qualitative data spread across dozens of interviews from network members. There were several recommendations that are currently being implemented. In addition, research over major policies being decided or implemented in 2023 were conducted as part of the Food Policy Council onboarding process. Some of the policies include the Food Donation Improvement Act, the 2023 Farm Bill, and Food is Medicine policies. Another part of the research will be completed during the meetings of the full council and committee members. Your conversation and decision-making will guide next steps. The full council members will be responsible, with plenty of support from the staff, for deciding which of the policies and programs will be focused on for 2023. From there, our actions will be delegated among council and committee members in order to enact change in the 10 counties of Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky the Food Policy Council represents. Before I discuss how the roles of the collective impact model apply to the Food Policy Council, please note that some of our work will be supporting partner organizations and collaboratives in their advocacy work at the state, regional, and federal levels. I will mention that in our collaborative, the backbone staff acts as an intermediate between the partners and the funders. And I'll say more about the backbone staff in a moment as I expand upon our role in a future slide. For the Food Policy Council, there are currently 2 funders that financially support the Food Policy Council's work. One funder is the USDA's Farm to School grant, and the other is the USDA's Regional Food Systems Partnership, or RFSP grant. Funders do influence some of the work completed by a collective, but backbone staff can help filter that influence and find other revenue streams that allow for more independence in what work is accomplished. The Food Policy Council and committee members are the partners within the collaborative. It is the council and committee members who provide guidance and feedback on future projects and resource development. The partners take the resources, networking, and funding the backbone helps develop and runs with it to put it into action. The partners get support from the consulting members. The consulting members of the Food Policy Council are our grant partners. Grant partners implement and manage day-to-day grant deliverables, but also participate on the full council and its committees. The consulting members differ from the full council members through their embodiment of the words counsel or advice giving. As part of their day-to-day work, the consulting members are responsible for providing feedback to the council of how the programs are progressing as part of the evaluation process. Researchers are not explicitly represented in the current structure of the Food Policy Council. However, there are several council members whose knowledge and research background can help guide our data collection methods. Plus, Green Umbrella works with the local firm Data Bloom on data collection projects. I already mentioned the policymakers and the community members in the previous video. However, we want to re-emphasize that policymakers within the regional food system can also include developers and managers of programmatic concepts like farm to school and workplace CSA incentives. Community members are any individuals who participate within the regional food system, which basically means everyone. Here, I will describe the backbone staff. Our Food Policy Council's backbone staff consists of 2 people, Maddie Chera, the director of the Food Policy Council, and myself. However, there are 2 additional people who contribute part of their professional time to the work of the Food Policy Council as backbone staff. These two team members, Christine, the farm to school coordinator, a contractor for Green Umbrella, and Cynthia, a Green Umbrella staff member who serves as both the Green Yards coordinator for CPS Outside and as our agricultural education curriculum coordinator, are invited to act as consulting members of the Food Policy Council. However, the backbone staff role is primarily fulfilled by Maddie and myself. As you can see from the list on this slide, there are 5 top priorities of the backbone staff. The top 2 priorities of guiding the vision and strategic plan and supporting aligned activities are currently being fulfilled through the development of onboarding resources like this video and materials about our 2022 strategic planning process and grant projects. However, as the year goes on, additional priorities were raised to the top and our support will take different forms. The trust and relationships we build within the regional food system is vital to accomplish systems and population level change. The collaborative must first build trust within itself, which is part of the onboarding process. The onboarding process provides clarity on our roles and what the expectations of those roles are. Plus, it creates a shared language for the work of the Food Policy Council. I'm not going to read line by line the ways trust is built within a collective impact model like ours. However, after a short pause so you can read through the slide, I am going to highlight a couple of important points. A few things you can expect from the backbone staff to help build trust are A, creating a clear, concise living agenda that allows for an understanding of what decisions and tasks must be completed during the full council and committee meetings. B, continual updates and feedback about policies, grant projects, and partners. And C, the facilitation of equitable, safe space meetings where potentially difficult conversations can occur with the understanding of mutual respect and willingness to compromise when necessary. Having a council where so many points of view through both work and lived experiences involved in the decision-making process isn't easy. It's necessary, though. Remember, the Food Policy Council is doing something extra difficult. We aren't just focusing on one of the 4 categories, aka the committee groups, which in and of themselves are difficult topics to discuss and decide action upon. We are trying to look at the regional food system through the lens of the entire system, and the backbone staff is here to keep that in perspective and support this difficult process. Through conversation and decision-making, we are creating a common agenda that benefits the most people participating in the regional food system. Now, is this process and its impact going to be perfect? Absolutely not. The Food Policy Council is not a perfect model of collective impact, as there's no such thing, but the collective impact model guides how the Food Policy Council operates. We don't want perfect to be the enemy of good. Again, here are the references and resources. Thank you so much for listening. Reach out to me if you have any questions.